rural population, 20% is the urban population, 80% is electing the politicians, 20% is complaining about them, right? So the way I understand India today is very different from what my understanding was 10 years ago. So when I was in India when I was in college, right, BITS Pilani, it was completely different from what I understand it today. In fact, I think the biggest opportunity in rural India is because it is rural India, not because it is not connected, right? So having said that, the opportunity that once you start to see it and the politicians start to approach you, the local MLAs, MPs, you start getting all kinds of calls, you realize that the moment you take up any of this funding, you're naturally liable for reservations and all kinds of political, arm twisting. If you don't take it, you're all clean. So fortunately, we're in 7 states today, and we're growing and profitably. Now, that's my reservation against funding. But talking about energy kind of ventures, there's a lot of programs. And I completely agree. There's, we often confuse entrepreneurial organizations with brick and mortar organizations, which is why I said an entrepreneur is somebody who creates value out of almost nothing. And it's a huge risk-taking proposition, right? So typically it is not about, my dad's running a hotel business. I want to set up another hotel business. I'm turning an entrepreneur. That is not an entrepreneur, right? I mean, you've got like huge balance sheet to back you and a brand name, and you're building something which is already proven. I mean, you set up like 100 rooms, in Manhattan Island, you're bound to succeed with that hotel, right? No matter what you do. So that's sort of flipping it. But with energy, there's a lot of segments, a lot of verticals where the government would be ready to invest. Not even invest, it's like almost a grant, right? An interest-free loan over an X period, they would ask you to, sort of tell them back what the result was, how many people and families you've affected. The reason I decided to stay away from it because we were also setting up these rural BPOs, right? And for me, the competence of the employees is what matters to deliver the right results to the clients, because that is what is my long-term sustainability option. It is not about the funding that I'm able to get right now, right? So the size of funding that I get is not directly proportional to the success of my company. That's what I'd say.
We talked about the difference in risk appetite in the US and India. How does, what does the panel has to say with it connects with the interest rates in both the countries? Does having lower interest rates matter in terms of the risk appetite?
Cost of capital.
Yes and no. So in taking the US example, more as interest rates are lower, right? That basically means that you cannot really earn a lot of money by keeping your money in the bank. That's when you start looking at alternative places to invest your money, and that's when returns that are coming out of, if you're getting 1% on your bank and you're getting 10, 12, maybe in VCs, 30% on your money IRR, that's where money starts to flow in this direction.